What's going on, you guys? So, happy New Year to everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. So, as we go into 2022, there are some things that I seen back in 2021. Danny Garcia wanted to face Amir Khan and Kell Brook winner. I seen this a couple of days ago, but I thought it was just some BS, right? I didn't think much of it. I'm like, why would Danny want to fight those two guys when he could be fighting Terrence Crawford? And when you look back at the day when Danny Garcia and Terrence Crawford ran into each other, along with Boo Boo Andre at, I think it was the Avery Uterman fight with Canelo Alvarez, Danny Garcia said he was moving up to 154. The first thing Crawford said, I'm going to kick your, you know. He told Danny he was going to kick his ass, right? Danny said he's going to move up to 154. He talking about Bud said he want to fight you. I don't know if Bud was serious enough, but Bud seems to do that to all his fellow peers, right? Danny said he talked about moving up to 154, what have you. But nonetheless, right, Terrence Crawford is available to fight, right? Danny Garcia, for those who don't know, is one of the highest earners over there on PBC. Despite him not necessarily having a big win at 147 or anything like that, right? But this just goes to show you guys that it's essentially looking like it's Operation No Bud out here. Operation No Bud. Sean Porter was the only one. Maybe because Sean Porter was, contemplating retirement anyway, right? But these other three guys, there's always been some type of hurdle or excuse. Now, the guys that did face Crawford, the Amir Khans, the Kell Brooks, the guys that's outside of this PBC parameter, they faced Bud Crawford, right? And they don't get no respect for it. They don't get no credit for it. They get kind of trash for it. But these guys, they still get a lot of love and a lot of respect, but they're not showing the world who's really the best. I think that's a problem. Why would Danny Garcia want to fight Amir Khan and Kell Brook unless he feels that he's about at that level at this point of his career, right? You can't keep lying to the people now. Is that where you feel you're at? He said that he heard that Amir Khan still hates him and, he wants to get him back. We said, well, go ahead, get the win, then we can make something happen. Paraphrasing, right? And then in regards to Kell Brook winning, he said, well, I want the winner. So we're going to see after February 19th if Danny Garcia is going to want to step in the ring with Amir Khan and Kell Brook. I mean, box fans going to be looking to see him fight Terrence Crawford or somebody like that. It's been excuses for years. It's been excuses for years from these guys as to why they don't want to fight Crawford or why, this, that, and the third, right? And some fans tend to co-sign these excuses, but I think a lot of those excuses are running thin. And then going into 2022, we're not tolerating any of that bullshit. We go settle this welterweight thing once and for all, right? But then 2022, 2023, this thing should be settled. We should know who the number one welterweight is amongst these guys, right? But this goes to show you the patterns. It's been a lot of the same patterns with these guys. Even when Manny Pacquiao was on board, right? $40 million, all this, right? Keith Thurman, $10 million, right? Now 8 months. Errol Spence, go get a belt. Go beat Jeff Horn. You on the wrong side of the street. Danny Garcia, oh, well, I need $10 million. They didn't even really want to talk about it. And for the people that want to say, well, how come Amir Khan got more than Danny Garcia got offered? Well, it's because Amir Khan is worth like $40 million. Go look it up. He's worth more than all these dudes. So they had to pay him. And you saw what happened too, right? Amir Khan looked for a way out of there immediately. And now he's training with Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew he was in there with a demon. So now he's actually training with Bud over there in Nebraska to prepare for Kell Brook, for those who didn't know, right? In my Amir Khan Kell Brook video, I got photos and stuff of Amir Khan over there in B&B boxing, training, preparing for Kell Brook. Should be a good fight, honestly. The Kell Brook Amir Khan fight should actually be a good fight. You know, I think those guys are at the same level. It's a grudge match, and I'm always down for a good grudge match. But Danny Garcia, what are you doing, man? I don't think these guys, man. I think Danny Garcia lost that fire a long time ago. You know, I think he really lost that desire to truly prove he was the best a while ago. I'm hope I'm wrong, but that's just what I've been noticing, and it's just been a consistent pattern when a lot of these guys, you know, it's always an excuse when it came to fighting Terrence Crawford. Sean Porter was the only one that was willing to really make something happen with Bud, and everybody else. And you know, now they kick Sean Porter to the curb. It was like he was never nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is how they do these guys. This is what they're doing to Boost Ennis right now, right? They're using Boost Ennis as a distraction from the fact that these dudes been coming up with excuses and hurdles to avoid Terrence Crawford for the better part of 3 or 4 years now. Operation No Bud is real, people. Yep. Operation No Bud is real. This is what these people are doing. This is what these guys are doing out here, man. You know, Danny Garcia talking about he want to fight that Amir Khan Kell Brook winner. Okay, well, that's just telling me that that's where you at right now. Because before this whole Amir Khan Kell Brook thing, Danny Garcia was talking about moving up to 154, getting the heck up out of there. Even though it's some killers at 154, it's kind of starting to thin out a little bit up there. And he's going to move up there, but now he said, "Oh wait. Let me go ahead and see about this fight." Amir Khan, you was talking trash. Okay, we can go ahead and do this again. Instead of dealing with Terrence Crawford, giving us something fresh, something new, something different. Now he fought Terrence Crawford in amateurs, though, right? They got fights with each other in the amateurs. But we talking about his pros. We ain't talking about his kids. We talking about his men. But let's just be real, people. We already know. It's obvious that Danny Garcia, he probably won't last the fight with Terrence Crawford. As tough as Danny is, he's been in there with some of the best. I'm not taking nothing away from Danny Garcia. He did his thing. He just didn't do as great at 147. However, he did share the ring with some of the best guys, and he always finished the fight. But I think in the fight with Terrence Crawford, he wouldn't finish the fight. You know, and then a lot of these younger up and coming welterweights looking strong, fast, explosive. And these dudes trying to move around. A lot of those guys see May slowing down. Keith Thurman slowing down. Errol Spence slowing down. Danny slowing down. The hunger has faded from these guys. The hunger has faded. I'm hearing whispers in the street, right? You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to say that for another video. I'm going to wait till some more weeks go by. Right? Because the Spence Ugas fight isn't finalized yet, right? And speaking on that, did Ugas get that 50-50? Because if I'm not mistaken, your Dennis Ugas, my main man Ugas. If I'm not mistaken, he said something about a 50-50. I'm not sure, right? Somebody refresh my memory, correct me if I'm wrong. But Ugas said something about a 50-50, or he was going to go off to fight Crawford. If I'm not mistaken, this is before he got thrown in that jam with the WBA. Refresh my memory. It's just so much, right? So did Ugas get this 50-50? This fight is not finalized yet. What's going on? When's the date? But I'm hearing things, right? Just know your boy hearing things about Spence. But I'll wait before I really come out and say what I heard. Now, I already told you guys that I'm hearing put your money on Ugas. But yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence Jr. Operation No Bud, man. I think that's a real thing. Operation stall out Crawford for as long as we can. Because if one of us get in the ring with him, there's likely a chance that we'll lose against this guy. It's not a guarantee that we'll go up in there and beat a Terrence Bud Crawford, right? It's not a guarantee that we'll go up in there and beat a Bud. So what we go do, we go instead of, unifying with Terrence Crawford in regards to Errol Spence, we just go fight Ugas. Instead of Keith Thurman, who is available to fight Terrence Crawford, you know what? Just give me 8 months. I'm going to fight Mario Barrios instead. right? That's what these people are doing. Danny Garcia. You know what? I told you guys I was going to 154, but I think I'm interested in the Amir Kell Brook winner. Anybody but Crawford, right? I had a good live the other day. Anybody but Spence. But there's also anybody but Crawford. These dudes seem to want to fight anybody but Terrence Crawford. Operation No Bud. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm going to title this video yet. It might just be Operation No Bud. Something simple like that. Even though it's mostly about Danny Garcia and what he's done, because that's what led me to do this video, different style type of video today. It's just a reminder, right? Is that this is what these guys been doing for quite a while. Coming up with excuses and hurdles. Go get a belt. Go beat Jeff Horn. He on the wrong side of the street. Bob Arum this. There's been so many excuses along the way. Keith Thurman essentially shot down the whole Bob Arum thing. He didn't even try to negotiate. You know, you gotta work with that type of guy, Bob Arum. He knows what he's doing when it comes to this business. And if you really wanted to fight Crawford, you would have got everything you could out of Bob to make it happen. But he didn't want to do it. So he just said Bob Arum, you know, and that was his way out. Because he knows the fans and shit don't like Bob Arum. So he knew that was a good way out. That's just my opinion on that. He could have got what he wanted if he really pressed for it, right? Right? It's a lot of bullshit over there. It's getting pretty annoying. And I hope in 2022 we don't see too much of this, right? But for Danny, though, honestly, he may be just kind of falling down the hill. You know what I'm saying? Without really saying it, without fans really acknowledging it, because these guys been in the spotlight for so long. But Danny Garcia is probably nowhere near the level of a Terrence Crawford right now. Nowhere near it. Probably not even. I mean, he didn't get past a inactive accident, prior accident. Errol Spence. He didn't even, you know. And I think that was his best opportunity to beat a guy like Spence. It was right then and there, and he didn't do nothing. So Danny Garcia may just be at a different point of his career, and I'm not gonna knock for it, but I'm just showing you guys the pattern here. Anybody but Crawford, even at this point of his career, right, where the most money for him out there probably would be a fight with Bud. He'd rather go off and fight Amir Khan or Kell Brook. Now, those are probably money fights because of who they are over there in the UK, but he may have to go over there and fight those dudes. Danny Garcia ain't bringing no belts and nothing to the table no more or anything of the sort. He's not doing anything of the sort. So what's Danny go do? Fight Amir Khan and Kell Brook? When boxing fans know Terrence Crawford's available, well, okay, well Danny Garcia must feel that he's on those guys' level right now. He must feel he's on those guys' level right now. That's just what I'm gonna take it for. Operation No Bud is a real thing, you guys. It's funny, you know. Instead of just saying, you know, I want to fight Terrence Crawford in 2022, Sean Porter got up in there with him. I want to get up in there with him too. Nah, he don't want to do it. I mean, these guys pretty much don't want to end their careers. That's basically what I'm getting. They want to use whatever they got left to, maybe not for Spence, but those other guys, they want to use whatever time they got left to make as much money as possible before they deal with Crawford. Keith Thurman said he needs 8 months. He needs tune-ups. But then he says Crawford wasn't the Porter KO wasn't R-rated, and he's not frightened. But you want 8 months? Like, stop, bro. Stop the cap. You know, all these dudes been capping. All these dudes been lying. All these guys been bullshitting. But over here on this Red Pill Talk, boxing talk, over here on Bushido Boxing, we gonna keep it 100 with you. Danny Garcia, look, I'm not gonna come out here and come out with a flashy title saying that he turned down Crawford like some of your favorite YouTubers may be doing, right? Come out here and say Danny just flat out duck butt. No. But we're gonna say Operation No Bud does exist. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.